We just want to say thank you for all of those who have attended or who are attending with us today. We do have a few members from Irth who will be speaking today, all excited about our mobile app for our damage prevention customers. I wanted to introduce myself first. My name is Ashley Roseborough Jackson. I've been with Irth for about 3 years now, and my focus at Irth is really on our damage prevention platforms. I also have a background in healthcare as well, but I really focus on our business needs and how we can bridge that with our user experiences in our different platforms and our technical development needs, really making sure that we are building the right solutions when and providing that value to our customers, not just now, but thinking about for the future as well. So today's focus is really going to be on that damage prevention app, talking about why do we even have an app and where we've been in this journey with our mobile app. I will share a demo, and you are welcome to ask any questions. We do have a team member, Lindsay, who will be monitoring our chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to add them there. I also want to share a little bit about where we're going. So there is a transition strategy that we've been discussing internally, and I would like to share that with you. We also have a high-level roadmap, and then just some different areas where you can share some feedback and some resources. So like I mentioned, there are other team members who will be joining the call, and they'll be telling a little bit more about our story and where we're looking to go. So at a high level, I just wanted to share with you more of like a snapshot of our product lines at Irth. So our focus and our vision is to enhance asset performance and resilience. So we are trusted highly in the US and Canada, and Irth has been a leading provider in the 811 ticket management space since 1995. So we literally hit 30 years this year. So very exciting news. Our focus today will be on damage prevention, but just wanted to make you aware that we do have asset integrity as well as land management platforms. And you can also see below a list of our partnerships as well as integrations that we currently support. Now, just high level, I wanted to provide more of a story of some industry challenges that we have and how Irth solves them. So I'm sure that you are aware of these challenges because we're all in this space, but I just wanted to set the scene for why we're doing what we're doing. So the industry challenges that we're focusing on are really the underground utility networks. And of course, because they're underground by nature, it's just difficult for asset managers to locate and track. And they're looking for a way to communicate the location of those underground facilities, whether to one call centers, maybe other asset managers. And of course, while they're communicating that location, they also want to make sure that there isn't any damaging that's happening when breaking ground. And Irth's goal is really to keep the public safe. So not only the field techs, but those who are around, monitoring those threats to our customers' networks and really providing adaptive insights so that they can make informed decisions. Now, with that, we are detecting emerging problems and informing them in ways where they can then take that information to address those issues early. And at the bottom of the slide, you'll see really a high-level workflow of how that process works. So from the call being received to being triaged and dispatched to a field tech to then mark the ticket and then sending a response back to the one call center. So why an app? So if you're familiar with Utilisphore, you know that we have our full web platform, but being mobile in the field is just a part of the daily workflows of a field tech. And offline functionality is not an option, it is a necessity. That's why we are supporting this through a mobile app. Now, as far as push notifications and alerts, this is something that we've come to basically understand as being standard. And we want to provide our users with those notifications to be able to act quickly and address issues very quickly. Now, with the mobile app, we can also provide different types of hardware integrations, helps our asset managers to be compliant with their reporting, and also provide an optimal user experience so that they can just continue with their work. Now, as far as the timing of why we're redesigning the app now, there are some technological limitations of our legacy app that this newer app addresses. And then we are also very much in tune with our users' feedback. And we have heard from multiple platforms or in multiple methods, whether that's from our customer success managers to support, to reviews, to just our feedback forums, that having a newer mobile app that is very much standard with what you might be used to is where we need to go, and we heard you. Also, Irth wants to be a leader in innovation, and being innovative means that we are understanding the technology space and where we need to be to support our customers in that way. So I just wanted to share with you as well, if you weren't aware of what Irth's mission and our product vision are. So with Irth's mission, I did share it a little bit earlier in that previous slide, but this is where we are enhancing the asset performance and resilience of our critical network infrastructure with data-driven insights. And with that, relating to our product's vision to support that is with delivering a reliable, intuitive mobile experience that really restores trust, as well as enhancing that functionality and seamlessly transitioning our customers to our newer app that is future ready and ready for them to complete their workflows in an optimized way. Now, I wanted to share with you a little bit about where we've been. So I mentioned to you before our legacy app, which we refer to as our Utilisphere Classic. So with the syncing process of our previous app or our legacy app, it involves a manual sync, meaning that a person will have to select a syncing button in order to send the information from the mobile app to our server on full web. And then also the map view and the list view of a task were all separate views. Also, the user experience was older and not necessarily up to date with how someone would expect to interact with a mobile app today. And then with our newer app, transitioning to the right side of the screen, that is where our app is async, and it stepped us closer to where we wanted to be, but didn't necessarily get us there all the way. Now, this has a combined map view. You'll see that there is a map at the top with a list view and location details in the middle. And it's more modern than the previous version, and it also steps us closer to where we were looking to go with an offline functionality. And this is with the use of our outbox. Now, to step you a little bit closer to where we're looking to go, this is where we've kind of stepped a little bit different, where you can see that we've made some changes to our footer. The home screen looks a little bit different. We have some enhancements with our split view screen, and you'll also see that there is this action bar over here to the right. So now with this user experience, we have a home screen with these widget filters that are mentioned. There are tickets and work items are able to be viewed in one screen. So we've been just referring to them holistically as tasks. And then the map and task summary have that split view, as well as that outbox that I mentioned before, which is available within the notifications option. So now, as far as the technical specs of what we can currently support with our mobile app, right now it is only the iOS and Android operating systems that we support, and those are the two most recent versions of that. So if you would like to use the app, it is optimal for you to update to at least the two most recent versions. And that is what the operating system support as well. And we also support whatever phones and tablets those operating systems support. So if you have an iPhone 11 and the OS systems support that, then that's what we will support. And it kind of works through that spectrum. The features that it currently has available are ticket management as well as combined tickets and routing. So I will show you those features in the demo. And then coming soon are the action bar feature that I mentioned over here on the right, as well as work items. So the demo that I'll be walking through today will show both. But work items are not available yet in production, but they will be soon. And then also we have a Windows desktop that has traditionally been thought of separately from the mobile app, but we're bringing it into the fold where all mobile devices, including Windows desktop, will be updated there. Okay. So are there any questions that have been placed in the chat so far? I want to make sure that I'm not missing any of those before we go into our demo. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on my phone.
Ashley, we've had just a few questions on batch functionality. And so if you could make sure to touch on that or show that during the demo, that'd be great.
Yes, yes. So for those who may not be aware, that would be different types of batch actions. So being able to select multiple items or multiple tasks and being able to take action on them. Were there any batch actions that were specifically called out?
Lindsay's saying specifically batch responses and batch photos. So batch photos will attach to every selected ticket. Yeah, you can see the question. There's some specific questions about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to see those. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Ashley, you just want to view the chat. I've just put stuff in the chat for you, so you don't need to worry about the actual questions pane.
Okay. So I'll take a look at that. Oh, and I see the questions as well. Gotcha. Thank you. All right. So I will go ahead and share my screen from my phone to the app. So everyone should be able to see my screen now with my phone. Awesome. Okay. So I do want to make sure that I see address those questions. So I will walk through those. And if you have additional questions based on what I've shared, then feel free to add more of those questions to the chat, and I'll take a look at that. All right. So starting on the home screen, we do have the widgets that I mentioned. And then we also have location, so you can see where I am in the United States. And then we do have these Earth messages. Now we are looking to expand our messaging functionality. Just as of right now, these are the default messages that are shared. Now in the bottom, you'll see the footer that has different options available. So now I will say that my configuration also shows time tracking. And so you may not see the now that is in the middle footer if you do not have that feature enabled, which is not a problem at all. It's just something that I have in my configuration in my test environment. Now shifting to the tasks, you can see this task summary view. And this is our split screen view that I was mentioning before. I am able to slide this up and see more of the list of my tasks. So of course your environment will share many more tasks in there, but mine, because again, it's a test environment, I did want to call out that you can see both work items and tickets. So the work items are the top 2 items, and then the ticket is the task at the bottom. This is a ticket, and I can see that because there is a darker blue icon to the left, and for the work items, it's a lighter blue icon. So if I click into my task, since this is a ticket, you can see all the ticket information that comes over from the one call center. And this would be the address information, anything related to the excavator information, who it's assigned to, and if there were any smart score information that would show as well. You can still view the full ticket text in the bottom of the screen, so that is not disabled at all. Now, if I have any notes or any attachments, I can continue to scroll through and see those, as well as any related items and the full history of the item. So that's just a high-level overview of what you're able to see in the ticket. If I wanted to take more photos, I can select this icon, this camera icon, and then there is the respond. Now to the left, that is the time tracking feature that I mentioned, but I will go in and I can respond to this ticket, and it will say the response required. I can add my locate time and any other notes that I'd like to add. Now I will go ahead and submit. Now, because I have submitted this response, you do see that the options on the bottom have changed. And if I need to, I can go ahead and reopen the ticket. But you also see now that the item is closed in the top right. I also have the options to comment or leave a note in this ticket. I can also create a new work item, so I'll show you that in just a bit. I can share this with others. If I want to drive to the location, I'll be redirected to the navigation app that is default to my device. But I'm gonna go ahead and reopen. And I'll just give a reason as being test. Okay. So now my ticket's been reopened, and you'll see that the options on the bottom in the action bar have now been updated. Now, it looks like there was an action or a question asking to complete batch actions. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I selected the ellipsis in the top right, and I can select tasks. And it takes me to a different type of menu. You see that I no longer have the action bar at the bottom, and I now have these different types of batch actions that I can select. Sorry, I didn't mean to select that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and select a couple actions, and it looked like there were ones that specifically we wanted to call out. Let's see here. And I think that was batch photos. So there was a question asking specifically about batch photos and batch responses, and asking if batch photos will attach to every selected ticket. Okay, so it sounds like there was a bug identified when I read this full response, and that there were batch photos that were selected or batch photos that were attached to the item, but not all of the photos, if I'm reading that correctly. If I'm not, definitely let me know. But I believe that's what happened there, is that not all of them were attached correctly. Okay, so I wouldn't be able to test that right now, only because I don't think I have enough photos for the selection. But that is something that we'll need to take back. Lindsay, let's make a note of that one so that we can report back to our QA team. All right, let me cancel out of this. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the task again. Now, you'll see that I'm scrolling in the bottom, and if I wanted to batch change an assignee, it will show me the different types of tickets that this is being affected, or different types of tasks that are being affected by this selection. And I go ahead and select myself and save and next. And I'll select myself again and submit. And so that will be the updating of the batches. We'll definitely want to test as far as the batch responses and the batch add photos to make sure that we are addressing any issues that may be coming from that. Are there any other questions? Because I am only able to see parts of the chat, so I can't see all messages that are coming in.
Yeah, actually we have a few, and then one that Lindsay marked for answer live. So it says, it says async, but I don't know if that's a typo. Does the async have an indicator or status so locators know when a sync is running or complete?
Yes, so I believe they're referring to the outbox. So I just selected the notifications option. I don't have anything in my inbox or my outbox right now, but yes, this would be where a user could see if an item has not been uploaded to the server yet, and where, like, the percentage of status of where that is. We do recognize that this is an area of enhancement for just bringing more to the forefront where a user can see that progress. So we are looking to make an enhancement there. Does that answer the question for the person?
I hope so. But yes.
Oh, I saw a thumbs up. Okay, nice.
I was like, how would we know? Yes, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So I also mentioned at a high level that we do have a time tracking feature. So I just wanted to select that really quickly and show you at a high level the options there where a user can start their day if they would like to. Also, they can see their timesheet and view different dates of that. So I just wanted to share with that at a high level what the options are available there. We do have settings and where a user can make different adjustments. There is this option, just like there was with the legacy app, where if a user would like, they can save the photos that they're taking to their gallery. Of course, if the user has any questions and you want to reach out to our support team, you can contact support. You can also if you are reaching out to support and they ask you for your diagnostics, you can see a log here. Are there any other questions to address live? I see a few others.
There's a question about, can the contractor read the notes from the locator?
No, like the same, unless the contractor, I'm sorry, can the contractor read the notes? Yeah, unless the locator is sending notes directly to a contractor, that would be the only way they can see that. Otherwise, no, they cannot. Is that something that you're looking to have contractors to see the notes from the locator?
It looks like from his thumbs down, you answered the question, but you didn't like the response. So I guess that maybe it might be a suggestion from Richard is that he would like the contractor to read the notes from the locator.
Yeah, I will say there are different types of response screens, and there are some customers who have had response screens to send notes to contractors, and that's how they've been able to send them.
Response screens? Okay, what is that?
Yes, so the response screen was, I'll show what displayed when I selected response. This is the response screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Someone else mentioned that. It would depend on the positive response if positive response is set up in the company settings. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
So it's not a requirement, but if that's something that you would like, it is something that can be done. I just don't have that in my configuration. This is a standard response screen.
Okay, and along that same line, someone else asked, will the app mirror the response screens that our company uses? I know that we've worked to have our company settings be a bit different. That might not be something we can respond live to, but
yeah, it's something we'll definitely be testing for, but by default, we do support all response screens that are currently available in our full web environment, as well as our legacy app. They will be available in the newer app as well. And I would say to reach out to support to confirm your sandbox environment, and there you are able to test that currently. They can support you with that. Just
Great.
in case you're curious and want to start like playing around with the app, you can do that now. Okay, I see a couple other questions coming through, all very good questions. I want to make sure that I don't miss any. Oh, I do see a question about training videos. So I will touch on that towards the end of the presentation, but yes, we do have training videos as well as FAQs, reference guides, and a knowledge base all dedicated to the app. So the goal there was to be able to provide whether it's managers or field techs with information so that they can start using the app seamlessly and not have any issues. All right. Any other things that they'd want to see specifically with the app?
Another question, can the maps be integrated with GIS utility assets?
Yes.
All right.
And you'd be able to see different types of map layers.
Great.
Okay. I'm seeing, does offline mode still have access to customer prints? I believe you're referring to the offline maps feature. If so, then that is something that we're adding as an additional feature here, but has not been added yet. If you're referring to those specific maps as customer prints, I just want to make sure I understand your question there. Okay, I see a thumbs up. Nice. All right. So I will shift back to my computer. All right. So where are we going now? So I want to make sure that I really hammer home the product vision and where we're looking to go. So we have this initial launch where steps us closer to where we want to be, but we know we're not all the way there yet. So this is where we are really focusing on our ticket management offerings and what those customers are able to complete as far as workflows, but we're also really sensitive to the sentiment and the feedback of our customers, which is why we're continuing to do these webinars. It's why we are really hitting home the importance of us leaning towards being a mobile first company and supporting that by having a stable and future ready app. So currently we are in a state of more of a relaunch. So I want to hand this over to our CTO, Grant, who will walk through more of our architectural updates and do more of an introduction there, as well as our teammate, Grima. Grant, you have the floor.
Thanks, Ashley. Hey, all, I hope you can hear me all right. I'm Grant, CTO here at Irth. I joined the company about 18 months ago and spent, the first part of my tenure here learning a lot about how you all use the app. Obviously, reading these kinds of chat back and forth and getting a good sense of how the old app used to work and what we can do with our new applications to bring you not only that existing functionality, but to improve on it, and then obviously deliver a lot of new kinds of functionality like offline maps in a very seamless way, easy chat interfaces like we referred to in the chat over here in the side. And actually, when a moment ago introduced kind of the whole portfolio of products that we offer to our customers. And mobile is an important part of really that entire story and all of those applications and vertical areas that we service. But particularly for damage prevention with Utilisphere, this is our flagship offering, and certainly the area where the mobile application plays a huge and important role, not only in ticket management and the kinds of work that you all do in the field with tasks, but work items and the expansive functionality that we can offer that allow you to do more in the field directly from your phone or from your tablet, rather than having to refer back to the web interface or one of our the desktop interfaces. So we're really doubling down our efforts here on mobile. This is an area where we feel like we're a mobile-first company, and we're going to continue to invest so that we can continue to bring you new functionality that allows you to do everything right there. Because you're a workforce that's in the field and needs this kind of functionality at your fingertips. One of the big steps we've taken, not just architecturally with our relaunch and bringing out a new framework through Maui, but also through some of the architectural changes that we've made in the hood to improve syncing, which we're constantly working on, and our ability to handle more and more photos and more attachments and more attachment types. But we're also investing in our workforce, our own staff. We recently hired Garima Nima, who I would like to introduce now, to take over as the senior manager for our mobile applications, and in particular the Utilisphere application, so that we can start to get new ideas, a fresh outlook on how to build our applications from somebody who's had a lot of experience building exactly these kinds of applications for users in the same industry. So I'm going to hand it off to Garima here to let her introduce herself and talk a little bit about some of the changes that she has planned and ideas that she has to continue improving the applications.
Thanks, Grant. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
It's good. Hey, everyone, this is Garima. I recently joined Earth's team as a senior manager. And yeah, my focus areas are just looking at how we can improve some of these mobile applications, especially for the Utilisphere. And I'm really excited to partner with you all to see how we can take your feedback and consider that as part of our improvement processes going forward. And some of the things that we're doing initially, just in the short-term outlook, is making sure our sync functionality is improved, meaning the app that syncs, that sends the data back in the outbox is able to send it even when you're switching networks, you're moving around in the app. So what that means is less of retries and making your data saved, more confidence in your data saved. And then as an extension to that, what we are also considering, as Ashley rightly touched, is some of the push notification updates. So I see a chat of some of the question that is there a possibility to send syncs even when the application is closed? And this would be an area that we're currently exploring with the push notifications. When even the application is closed, we could, we would have the ability to send some of these updates and syncing seamlessly, so the business can continue as usual. Another area, as Grant mentioned, is we're focusing more on these core architectural improvements to make our app more seamless. So prioritizing some of our bugs, our crash rates, and things like that. And there's a lot in the works, which I'd love to share it with the team as we go forward and as we concrete on some of these. But for immediate updates, I think the background functionality and the push notifications are some of our core things that we're touching on, which you should be seeing, and changes shortly in the new releases of the app. I'm not sure on the push notifications, but certainly on the improvements on the background outbound syncing. I think, so with this high level, I would definitely hand it over to Ashley to walk us through where we are heading next and wrap us up.
Thanks, Garima. One part that I did want to touch on with this screen here is our rebranding. So you see a difference even in the login screens. So when we initially launched the app, we referred to it as the Earth app, but understanding that our customers and our user base is kind of used to Utilisphere, but also we're looking to expand our Earth app suite. You'll see that with the soon releases, I would say in the next few months, you'll see this difference where we've now added Earth Utilisphere. So a small change, but just brings some more clarity there. Also showing that there's a difference between just the user experience of between the two screens and making that more seamless. Also wanted to share with you some ideas that we're heavily exploring to make things much more, I'll say, fun while working within the app. We understand that this is a task management app that users have to use for work, but that doesn't mean that it can't be a very pleasant experience while they're using it. I'll walk through each of these screens. So starting with this screen on the left, you'll see in tiny letters it says handoff. My apologies if the screen is a little small, but you'll see also this QR code. What we understand is that a lot of our users have tough books in the truck, and when using those tough books, they might have Utilisphere full web pulled up on the screen, and then as soon as they drive to their site, they then start to use the mobile app. Well, here we want to make this a little bit easier, where instead of a user having to view a task in Utilisphere and then having to start all over with their view once they open the mobile app, instead the goal here is to have the user scan using their camera and view this QR code, and it would take them directly to the task that they were already viewing on the full web. We're also exploring some user experience changes when it comes to the ticket details. And so the ticket details view that you've seen previously, we're looking to shift away from. And with that, looking to provide more insights and more information, bring it more to the surface to make more of those informed decisions. In this case, it's risk, and that there are copper pipes nearby. And whoever might be working on this ticket needs to be aware of that before they do their work, as well as any comments and understanding where they are in space. So this is where, instead of having tabs where you'd have to kind of swipe to see more information, this is bringing more of it to the forefront for you to make informed decisions quickly. Now, as far as our mapping tools and sketching, this is really making things more seamless within the app, where you can draw on a map or draw on a location, screenshot, like the different types of sketches that users may need to draw, or even lasso around in a specific area, maybe measure. This is where we're looking to enhance our mapping tools to really be more standard to what people might be used to with other apps. We are exploring as well a chat feature that would allow users to chat not only with their teams, but also with excavators. And all of that would be available here within the app without having to leave. We do understand that there are some one-call centers that provide different chat capabilities. We would future state be looking to integrate with those. So it's not that a user would have to choose between one or the other, but that we would bring everything together. So here you can see that there would be team members who might be responding to different chat messages. But then if a user wanted to see an excavator's response, maybe they wanted to confirm a location or other types of information, then they can do that here and be able to see everything all at once. Outside of that, just keeping up with the technologies of our OS systems, there is a feature called live activities that you may have noticed with something like Uber Eats, where without you even being in the app, you can see how close someone is to bringing your food. Well, the same concept here would be that there might be live activities that you're doing within the app, but you don't need to have the app open. Here, it would be more of geolocation, that the app has noticed that you are within a certain geofence of your dig site that you're assigned to, and we'd be asking you if you wanted to start work from there or navigate directly to this location. So those are just some features that we're thinking about at a high level. There are definitely others as well, but just a little taste of that there. Now, as far as our transition strategy and how we would look to transition customers from the legacy app to the newer app. Now, we do understand that for many of our customers, it is required for them to have at least that work items functionality available. So we are not forcing any customers to transition from one app to the other. Instead, we are looking for customers to be partners with us and champions. This is where they can speak of their app experience and encourage other customers to transition as well. Also, this is a warm transfer period. So we have a small but dedicated team that is looking to guide customers through the transition process. So if you're having any issues or if you just have a little bit of questions, we'd be there to answer those for you. And as well as just providing any supplemental resources that can help you to train your teams. We also want to make sure that you feel valued and heard in this process. And if we need to address any issues that come up. We'll also be monitoring these as a team through our support cases, reviews, crash rates. We do have specific OKRs and KPIs that will help us to understand that we're successful, but we want to make sure that we are connecting with you while we do this as well. Now, I wanted to share with you a high-level roadmap. So this is where we've been and where we are looking to go. So now I will say that these timelines can be subject to change, so they are tentative, but this is where we are currently standing. So when it comes to our work items as well as the Windows app, notifications that we're looking to have too. And then future state with mapping, sketching, patrols, and then like the messaging and chat feature that I mentioned before. Now, I will say that we will continue to update this roadmap and share it with our customers. With these webinars, they will be quarterly, so you will continue to hear from us and see the progress that we're making and how you can be a part of that. I wanted to touch on feedback as far as how you can provide us with feedback as you're going through this process. So we will have dedicated office hours during our transition time to guide through app usage. So this is for when you have looked at our resources and it's still not making sense to you, but you just want a little bit of help there. And now if those office hours may not correlate with your schedule, you can always reach out to support. You can also reach out to support if you see any bugs, and those will be escalated based on their severity. Also, if you have any suggestions, feel free to enter any feedback forms, suggestions through our feedback forms available through Freshdesk. You will be able to submit those. They're open now. So we do review those, myself and Lindsay, and we see a lot of your feedback and we will be responding to them as we're able. Something I did want to just share a little bit, because I mentioned support a few times, and I wanted to bring more of a face to our support team. So our support team, this is support agent Amanda, and one of the goals of our, or a few of the goals of our support team are to resolve our user issues efficiently, as well as being able to reproduce and escalate those bugs. Now, their pain points might be that they have some limited tooling to be able to impersonate specific users, especially if there are certain configurations that they don't have. And they aren't able to replicate context sometimes in those situations. Now, they are there to support you. So their goals are to impersonate when we are receiving permission, as well as tagging and tracking those support tickets to make sure that you are informed every step of the way. And for them, if they don't have context or logs, they're stuck and they're unable to help you. And that's where myself, Garima, Grant come in, where we are really looking to address those issues quickly so that the support agents can become unstuck and be able to help you. Now, I did touch on resources as well. So we will share this presentation after this meeting where you will be able to access the live links. So you can see the product updates as well as how to set up the mobile app. There is a certain configuration that has to be done on full web first with a mobile profile, and that will then allow you to update the app. There's also FAQ document that we have updated since the last webinar because we've had some really great questions. And so that has been updated with those. And then we have mobile training content, and we are continuing to update that library. If you weren't aware, you can access our mobile, our Earth training through Utilisphere's full web right now, and you can search for this content to see that. I also wanted to highlight our user summit that is next month. I will be there as well as other members of the team, and we're really looking to share more information about not only the mobile app, but where Earth is going as a whole. Also, if you're curious about our other product lines, you'd be able to attend tracks for each of those. Thank you all for attending, and we will see you soon.